Hi everyone, welcome to episode 11 of Simple Chain Together. Today we're going to create a taxi platform, but not just any taxi platform. This one moves in a perfect circle, passes under some obstacles, and let us jump from a start platform to an end platform and back again while riding along. As you can see, I have my scene set up already. I have two platforms, one at the start and one at the end. Then I created an empty game object called circular platform. As a child of that, I added a 3D cylinder, and this cylinder has a mesh collider so it can interact with the player or anything else in the scene. After that, I measured the distance between the start and end platforms to find the center point of my circle. The radius I'm using is 18.5. Now, let's talk about how to move the taxi platform along this circle. Let's select circular platform and add a new script called circular taxi platform. Double click to open it. Public vector 3 center. This is a 3D position for the center of our circle. We can set this in Unity editor. Public float radius. How far from the center our taxi will travel or how big the circle is. Public float angular speed. How fast the taxi moves around the circle, measured in degrees per second. Private float angle deck. The current angle in degrees of the taxi around the circle. Private vector 3 last pose. The previous position of the taxi. We use this to figure out how much the taxi has moved since last frame. Public vector 3 motion. Get private set. This is a value we can use from outside the script to tell other things like the player how much the taxi has moved. First, we get the offset or distance from the taxi's starting point to the center of the circle. This calculates the angle in radians between the taxi and the center. And this converts that angle from radians to degrees, which is easier to use for our calculations. And we save the current position as last pose so we know where we started. Inside the update, we add to our angle based on how fast we want to rotate and how much time has passed since the last frame. We use 360 so the angle never gets higher than 360. It wraps around the circle. We convert our angle from degrees to radians, which is what the mathfsin and mathfcost functions expect. Here, we calculate the new position for the taxi. For x, we start at the center and add cos angle multiplied by radius to move around the circle's edge. For y, we keep the current height of the taxi, so it doesn't move up or down. For z, we start at the center and add sin angle multiplied by radius for the z movement around the circle. This line sets the taxi's position to the new calculated spot. Here we calculate how much the taxi moved this frame. Then we update last pose, so next frame we know the new last position. Okay, now let's save everything and go back to Unity. Select circular platform. You can see the script here. You can change the numbers if you want. You can slow it down, speed it up. Also, you can change the radius. I think for now, speed of 15 is going to be fine. As you can see, the circle is working fine. It's rotating perfectly. Okay, here's a problem. As you can see, the player is not moving with the taxi. which is a problem. And we solved it in previous episodes. So what is the problem here? Let's go to player controller, open it up, and let's fix the issue. Before, I used to check if the object I landed on had the movement script attached using something like getComponent on the game object. But this only works if the collider and the script are on the same object. In many cases, like when the collider is on a child and the movement script is on the parent, the player wouldn't detect the platform and wouldn't move along with it. To make this more reliable, we should change the code. This way, Unity searches up the hierarchy and always finds the movement script, even if the collider is on a child. Here, we check if whatever we are standing on, or its parent object, has a moving platform script. If yes, we remember it as a current platform. This makes sure the player can ride along with any moving platform, even if the collider is on a child object. Here, we check if the thing we left was our current moving platform. If yes, we set current platform to null. This way, the player stops moving along with the platform. Okay, now let's hit play. Yes, we're traveling with the circle. Perfect. It is working now. Perfect. I think it's fun if we add some obstacles along the way, so go ahead and create your obstacles. I'm just going to create some. The taxi should pass underneath them, and the player has to jump over them and land back on the taxi. Okay, if you're done with the setup, let's hit play. Okay, circle is moving. Now time to jump. Yes! And then what happens if I hit one? Okay, I cannot continue traveling with the circle and I fall down. Perfect. This is all we wanted. Yeah? Great. And that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Lou, and I see you in the next one. Bye!